Welcome to this sneak peek. In the next few minutes, you're going to get a taster of what's to come on the next episode of Signal or Noise, the Australian Consumer Show. Panel, let's go. If you had to describe today's average Australian consumer in one word, what would it be and why? Diana?
Divergent, because there's big differences between spending in older households, those aged over 65, and those who are younger, aged under 45.
Ben, one word, sir.
Discerning. Consumers want to get value for money, and they're starting to increasingly think about how they spend that marginal dollar.
Richard, one word to describe the consumer.
Bifurcated. There is no average consumer, as was laid out by Diana.
There you go. Second one, folks, the household savings rate has collapsed from its long-run average of 6% to now sitting above barely 0%. Ben, is that a signal or noise, and if so, why?
It's a signal. It's happened very quickly, and I think it's taking time for consumers to adjust. So it's going to be a different 2025 financial year than we saw last year.
All right, Richard, to you, is that a signal or noise, and if so, why?
Look, it's noise. The reality is householders out there draw their wealth from so many different channels nowadays, and therefore these old metrics that worked for decades, whereby we assumed people's wealth was a product of their income and their wage, no longer apply.
Yeah, no, they do no longer apply. Deanna, to you, is that a signal or noise, and why?
I think it's a signal. I think it does apply because in the last 2 years we've seen consumers draw down on their savings, and that was a massive support at a time of rising interest rates.
All right. Yes or no, panel, will the Stage 3 tax cuts have a meaningful impact on retail sales and consumer buying activity? Richard?
We think they will. We think they are. And that's not necessarily that they will cause retail sales to accelerate from here, but they will prevent the decline that would have happened otherwise. So they are certainly a support.
Deanna, will the Stage 3 tax cuts have a meaningful impact on retail sales and consumer buying activity?
We don't think so. We think that they're too small to make a big difference at a time when you have a rising unemployment rate, still high inflation, and still high interest rates.
Ben, will they make a difference?
I think they will. I think consumers like to think that they're going to save that money, but I think the reality is they'll probably spend it.
A little bit of investor psychology, very good. All right, last question, team. Staples, discretionary, both, or neither? Where do you want to be invested in the consumer space today? Ben?
Discretionary, but look at what happened in past economic cycles and have a bit of a think about which selected businesses you want in that space.
Richard?
Still in discretionary, but that won't be forever. There will be a time when the opportunity set opens up to move into staples.
Deanna?
Well, I'll probably go with the stock pickers, and I'll say discretionary too, but it depends on the specific business.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you enjoyed that, you can join Richard Shellback of UBS, Ben Clark of TMS Capital, Diana Mousina of AMP, and yours truly, Hansley of Livewire Markets, for the next edition of Signal or Noise.